Hi everyone, it's Tessa. Welcome back to my channel. And today I have a special announcement. As some of you already know, I did finish writing my thriller slash mystery slash suspense novel. I wasn't sure whether it was a novel or novella, but I had a few people tell me that at 51,000 words it was considered a novel, even though some of the places I looked said it was just a novella. But I did some more searching, and they do seem to say that at 40,000 words, it's a novel, small one. 50 to 70,000 words is a middle-size, medium novel. So that's where I fit in. So technically, I wrote a novel. So it was my first one. I wrote it without reading any craft books. I did a little research by listening to some videos, but for the main part, I wrote it all on my own, out of my head. I'm a pantser. I don't write outlines. I don't know if that'll ever change, but I am reading the original Blake Snyder's Save the Cat Part 2. Save the Cat Goes to the Movies, and my novel actually fits pretty closely to the beats. They give several examples and the different categories he uses, and mine fits in Monster in the House. And I read, several of the example movies, and it's kind of based on infidelity. So I don't know right now. I couldn't tell you exactly what that was in his book, but it was a section in his book for those type of novels, and it unleashed a monster. So what I plan to do, I can't publish it as a regular book, so I'm going to put it on my blog, probably in chapters, which will take quite a bit of time. It takes a while to set this stuff up and, actually do all the links and, set it up as a novel on my blog. But I thought I might try reading it out loud by either video or live stream, though I think live stream might be a little bit more difficult to do. I'm not sure. So I'm not sure if I'm going to do it in video or live stream, but I'm going to put it out in parts. Obviously, I can't read the whole thing. Nobody'd sit there that long. So I would have to do it in small chunks, maybe 30 minutes at a time or so. I don't know. I have to work out the logistics still. This just came to me as a possible way of doing it. And I have been told by numerous people that when I read, that I put a part of myself into my work that's not there when you just read the written word. So I'm hoping that that will come through when I do actually start reading it out loud. Each part will be labeled, so you'll be able to go back and, listen to them in order. Obviously, you wouldn't want to read it out of order. So if you missed one, you would be able to go back and pull up the one you missed and go on from there. I will eventually, I'm leaning more toward video because I could make a list and put that on, with all of them listed, and it would just run as a list if you wanted to sit there and listen to the whole thing. So exactly how I do that, it's still up in the air. I will have to figure that out. I know other people that do it, so I know it, it can be done. And since I don't have another way, I can't really publish it, so to speak, as a book, I figure this is one way I can get it out there because I'd like people to read it. And the feedback I've gotten so far has been pretty good. I still need to get a few beta readers. I have one so far, and she's pretty happy with it. She hasn't read the whole thing yet because I only had half of it done, but she was ready to take on the first half. So I have to get the second half to her for the rest of the feedback from her. And then I'm going to get some regular, hopefully, beta readers to read it and tell me, you know, because like I said, this is the first one I've ever written, and I didn't use anything to write. I just wrote what came into my head, and the whole story came into my head. I mean, it was like, boom, it was there. And I don't know how to explain that. I mean, someone else who's the pantser probably understands what I'm trying to say, but someone who outlines would not understand that because they, you know, outline every little point and follow that outline, whereas I don't do that. I do, you know, the whole thing in my head, and it just flows out onto the paper or the screen, if you want to call it, since I'm not technically using paper. It just flows out. I mean, it's there. It's all there. And it's kind of like, would be kind of like doing an outline, that initial piece that I put out, you know, because it's this very rough draft, obviously. But I've already got another one in the background, which I didn't think was possible. And so I've got a sequel, but I don't know if it's going to be long enough to be a novel. So I would have to spend some time working on that to decide whether or not it's worth the trouble of trying to write, and if I can get enough words to fill it out. But I do have an inkling of an idea, and like, it's like right now I'm itching to start it, but I know I got to finish the first one first, and so I'm trying to fight with myself over this. It's like, no, you have to finish the first one before you start the second one, even though it's like in my mind, you know, it's like crowding my mind right now, and, you know, wants to come out. And I don't know, I may end up giving up and just letting it all come out now so I could get back to finishing what I was doing. I mean, there's no deadlines for any of this, so I can write, you know, at my leisure. Now, the synopsis for my first story, just to give you a short idea. The main character is a philandering male husband. He likes women. He's not afraid to admit he likes women. The second character, the female, is his wife. Second wife. There's a reason she's the second wife, obviously. However, she went into this with her eyes open. He's not actually duping her like he did wife number one, but that doesn't mean she likes it. So then we have, these are all point of view characters. So then we have her father. I have him as a point of view character. Part of this is written in his words. And then we get to the nitty-gritty of the story. He finds out that there's a stalker in their lives. And she's not a girlfriend. And they're kind of surprised when they find out who this person is, because it does come out before the murder. And then, so I did originally have her as a point of view character, and I realized that things were getting out of hand. So I had to revise the story to include her, but not as a point of view character. And there was another one of the girlfriends. There's two girlfriends. And the first one, I had her as a point of view character. And I'm like, oh, this is getting out of hand now. Because if I do her, then I need to do the second girlfriend, because there are two girlfriends. And I'm trying to figure this out. And girlfriend number one is sweet, You know, she's shy, she's loving, she's, you know, the perfect person. Maybe too sweet, but, you know, she's number one. So I'd had to take her off of POV. So I had to figure a way of telling her story and get it out, because I wanted that part in there too. And then number two girlfriend is a nutcase, an absolute nutcase, which it builds up to. So then we have the murderers. There's two murders. And so I made the murderer a POV, I don't know if this is normal, but I made him a POV character, but it's an unknown. Like, there's no name, because obviously I'm not going to tell you who the murderer is. So, you know, it's just the point of view, because I wanted the murders to be described. I wanted them to be part of the story and what happened and led up to it and everything. So there's that. And then when it actually happens, you know, the murders are found, the interrogation starts, then of course the main character are the police detectives as they're trying to work and figure out who of these people killed these two girls. And so it ends with a twist, sort of unexpected twist. So I didn't know whether to put epilogue on it or just make it a chapter with a time, you know, because there's a time jump there. And I was afraid if I put epilogue that people would just skip over it. And I kind of like this part of the story. And I want it to be there. So I'm going to make it a chapter. It's just going to be a time jump there. And I'll just note it on the chapter that, you know, which month the first part is in and which month the last part is in. Hopefully people will notice that it's 2 different months that time is going by. I mean, obviously time will go by when you read it. And I was trying to decide if to make that a second story all its own, but I didn't think I had enough to make a separate story all its own. And it turned out it just barely got me over the 50,000 words. So adding into the first story was the best thing to do. And it kind of concludes that first story. So now I've got a second one in mind, a sequel. So it'll be a lot of the same characters, same cities and stuff like that. You know, the information, a lot of that will be the same. So I won't have to change the story Bible up too much, because a lot of it will be the same. Some of it won't be. I mean, there's a couple characters that definitely aren't going to be there. And so that's my plan. Once I'm settled, have the beta readers get back to me. Hopefully I can find some. And get back to me with anything that needs changing. Then I will start to read the story in sections. And I'm excited, really excited to have finished the story. I mean, it's my first one, and I only write short stories. So this is really a big thing for me. You know, to write the end on a novel, it's exciting. And from what people tell me, even if you've written a novel, it's exciting. So the first one is really exciting. So this is an exciting time for me right now. And I never thought I could do it. And I can. Will I do it again? That's the hard part, because I'm a short story writer. And it's really hard for me to write long stories. So I don't know. I have a couple others that maybe I can spend some time and up them to be longer. So I think I have one that's 30,000 words. And it's not edited or anything. And maybe I can add some stuff to it and make it at least up to 40,000. If I can't make it to 50, at least get it to 40,000. So it'd be still considered a novel. But that one's not speaking to me yet. This one's still speaking to me. And it needs to get out there for people to see. And so far, only one person's seen half of it. So, you know, I need to get it out there. And after seeing a couple people read their novels out loud on videos, I thought, well, why not? Like I said, people tell me that what I put into my story when I'm reading it makes it come more alive. So I'm hoping that happens when I read it in front of the camera. Never done that before. Though I read out loud to people. I mean, these are, you know, I read, that's how they know this, because I read out loud my story in the group. And, you know, they all told me that, you know, the way I read it puts life into the story. So I'm hoping the same thing will come through with the video. So I just wanted to give you a heads up to be looking out. I don't know how long it's going to take me to get started with it, but I will be eventually putting out parts of the story and reading it out loud. I'll make sure I number each one so that they can be, you know, if you miss one, you can go back and start where you missed, if you wish to continue reading my story or listening to my story, listening to me read my story, however you want to put it. And anyone wanting to be a beta reader, just direct message me on Instagram at Tessa Writes Fulltime. Give me your email address, and once it's ready, I will send you the copy with the beta reader questions, and you can read it and get back to me with your thoughts. You don't have to answer all the questions. They're there with the hopes that you would answer them, but certainly not a requirement. And, you know, at least give me your thoughts on the story, if nothing else. I'm looking for honest feedback. I don't want to just hear, oh, great story. Enough people have said that. I want to know exactly what I need to fix to make it a great story. You know, I want it to be a great story. So if you're interested, again, Instagram, Tessa Writes Fulltime is my name on there. Also, I put my email underneath my videos. You can email me, just put on there beta reader in the subject and include your address, and again, your email address, and again, I will, when the time is ready, I will send you a copy. It'll be a Google Doc. It is, the questions will be at the top. There are ways of leaving comments on the side. My first reader found that out, and so she highlighted sections and put a comment about the section, you know, whether it was good or bad or, you know, constructive. She wasn't, you know, she was giving me constructive criticism. And I agreed with most of what she sent me, you know, things that you don't necessarily notice. So, again, you know, if you'd like to be a beta reader, just let me know. The more the merrier. Like I said, this is my first time writing a novel. I'm not sure what I'm doing. It's kind of hit and miss with me right now. But I think it's a pretty good story. And I would hope as the author, I would think that. And I think if I was reading it, I would enjoy it. You know, thinking as a reader, I find it interesting. But having written it, I'm a little bit biased, so can't really go by that. So that's why I need people on the outside to read it and give me their honest opinions on what needs doing, and maybe in the long run help me write a better novel the next time. So if you like my video, please like it. If you have any comments, please leave them. I will answer them as soon as possible. I try to make videos once or twice a week, and if you subscribe, all I can say is I try to make videos once or twice a week. I can't guarantee that will happen. It really depends on time and getting uninterrupted time to make videos without neighbors knocking on my door or screaming outside in the hallway. It's quiet right this moment, but any moment my phone could ring. I'm expecting a phone call. and that'll mess up this whole video. So I don't want to have to do it again. So I'm going to end it here. Please subscribe if you'd like to be notified of my upcoming videos, and be on the watch for the story written by, and written and read by the author. I mean, obviously written by the author, read by the author. It will be coming shortly, I hope. I hope it won't be too long. So, happy holidays. Happy New Year. It's almost here. 2021, I hope, is better than 2020. Everyone have a great New Year. And until next time, goodbye.